Yo, what is up guys? Today we're going to be installing, of course unboxing, installing, and then reviewing, checking out the quality on this Tecxerllon, I believe it's called. This is how it is pronounced, and the link has been left down in the description. This is the TX100, and this is another one of those little dash cams that comes with a rear view camera as well. And basically this is just for recording. This is not a reverse camera. Some people do mistake this for a reverse camera, but no, this is so that you can have dual recording in front of your vehicle and on the rear side at the same time. We have a society, as we know, that is questionable, and well, we need to be protected at all times, guys. So this is a pretty cool item to have. In this case, I'm installing it on my stepson's car, which is a Hyundai Elantra 2017. It has the Starvis 2 sensor by Sony. Also, there's an app that you need to download. Yes, it does have an app. Thanks to that Wi-Fi capabilities, you can take the videos from the camera straight from the application, which is super cool. And you do that all via the application, which is called WDR, I believe it is. So let's go ahead and take this out. The install is quite simple. Typically they come with everything you need to install it. Some of these cameras, they have installations to go straight to the fuse box. You have some that go to the OBD reader, and some that go to the 12-volt socket on your vehicle. So this is the little warranty card. It does come with some adhesive and some little wipes. Then we have here the camera itself. This is at least the front camera, and it's right here. Damn, this thing is, wow, this thing is very well built, guys. And checking on the temperature, this is all made of metal. So the whole casing here, this whole grate area, is all made of metal. This thing feels rugged, super rugged, I would say. And in case I forgot to mention, this thing can record in 4K for the front camera and 2K for the rear camera, which again, it is also typical. And this is what we get. So we have the lens right here. That's the Sony Starvis 2 sensor. On the side, we have a button. Okay, it doesn't look like a button at first glance. And we have a decent sized little display here. I don't know what the size is exactly, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger than 2 inches. It is kind of like elongated here to the sides. And then check this out, guys. This one came with a 64 gigabyte SD card as promised. So that's very cool. Let's go ahead and reinsert this in here. We have a USB Type-C connection with the AVN for the rear camera. And then we have here the double adhesive already pre-installed on here. And this thing can be angled very easily. It's kind of like super tight, so that's good. That's exactly what you want, so that when you put it on your windshield, you can angle it easy without doing too much work. So yes, this is the front camera. That thing looks very, very rugged. And of course we have here the rear camera, okay, which is also adjustable as well. This one has like a little mechanism in here, and you can adjust it. And then this is our main connection here, guys. So it only came with one option. Like I said, some of them come with the OBD connection, others to the fuse box. This one only connects, as you can tell, to that 12-volt socket. But the cool part about it is that if you have a charger already on a 12-volt socket, well, no worries. This thing comes with a 5-volt charger right there. So even if you plug this in to your vehicle, you're not losing that 12-volt socket. And yeah, you can always take it out momentarily if you have to use it for something else, but at least you know that it comes with a 5-volt socket, so you can use it as a charger at the same time, which is super awesome. And this wire is quite long. We're going to be running this through the upper side of the vehicle, down the pillar, and maybe either on the passenger side or the driver's side underneath the steering column, but I'll keep you guys posted on what we're going to do there. And then we have a pry opening tool, and that's all we get here for the accessories on this particular camera, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into that Hyundai Elantra 2017 and do the rest there. Well, this is the car that we are working on today. It's a Hyundai Elantra. It's a pretty overall clean car. It's been quite reliable. We have had to do a couple things mechanically, but this car we got it super cheap and it's been great. So what we're going to do here, guys, is something different, right? I was looking into this vehicle and I noticed that, first of all, we can't use one of those power adapters because we don't have a powered rear view mirror on this trim. So we're not going to do that. Now I was going to install the wire I told you earlier, the one that connects to the 12-volt socket, which is this one right here. But even that is going to be quite uncomfortable to remove all of this just to get that done. So this car has a aftermarket radio. This is the iDoom radio. I provided a full tutorial on how to take this car apart. And what we're going to do is, well, we have this wire, okay? It's quite basic. This is the USB-C that goes to the camera. And this wire has a power converter. It goes from 12 volts to 5 volts. And if you look here, it has the 3 wires that come already with the radio. So we have the ground, we have the 12-volt wire, and this is basically the ignition wire, okay? Now this radio already powers off automatically, and it comes with all 3 wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to splice the harness for this radio, and I will connect all these 3 wires to it, and I'm going to run the wire here through the dashboard. I'm going to go down the pillar here, and then I'm going to go through the dashboard and right behind the radio. So it's going to go kind of like this, and that way I don't have to mess with the 12-volt sockets down here, and it's going to look a lot more factory than we can imagine, and it will turn off automatically when the radio turns off, which is exactly what we want. You have to have some sort of connection to where when you turn off the vehicle, the camera powers off. Otherwise you're going to drain your battery very quickly.
Much later.
In the end, what we did with this dash cam, if you look at it, it is currently recording. Let's hit OK, and right there, I mean, there we go. I think you can see it better now. It is recording. So we have both of them recording. If I hit the arrow button here, let's see, it says it has been locked, this one. Well, you can see that we are also recording with this one. Now the only thing is that we have to pass on the wire through the upper side of the vehicle, just like the manual says. So it's not too hard. All you got to do is just, you know, kind of pinch it here, and then move the pillar cover, move the gaskets, and then go through this pillar. It's super easy. What helps a lot is the pry opening tool. That way you can insert it in there. And we already did it on the passenger side. We did it for the power wire, and this is it right here, guys. We had to use the 12 volts. I tried using this other one that I had, but this is for another brand. I tried connecting it straight to the radio, but I wasn't getting the proper power. Even when I connected it to my Galaxy, it was saying that the wire was damaged or something. So maybe this thing's not working properly. But we went with plan B. We actually used the USB port right here, or not the USB port, but the 12-volt socket, and we can still close the lid and whatnot, but we still have this little piece of wire that is dangling around. But at least we can use the charger side. We can use the USB for 5 volts to charge anything we want. And in this particular case, this car had blown fuses for the 12-volt sockets, but we got that fixed, and now everything is working great. So all we got to do is just really run this wire through the back side and then attach the camera, and we should be all set to go, guys. And of course, I'm going to be providing some sample recordings so that way you can see how cool this thing is. And yeah, I even zip tied the wire up here. I'm not sure if you can see that. I zip tied them together so that it looks as clean as possible, and I place it in an area where it doesn't interfere with what he's seeing here on the rear view mirror. It doesn't really cause that distraction, as I will call it, and it's the way he wanted it. So again, let's continue running the wire through, and I'll be right back. Well, hopefully you can see this little display nice and clear with this camera. We got everything set up. We ran the wire here. One side is for the rear camera, and then the other side is for the power, in which again we eventually connected it to the 12-volt socket. We had 2 blown fuses, so it was a mixture of, you know, difficulty and ease with this camera, but it wasn't the camera's fault. It was just that this vehicle, first of all, we couldn't use that wire that we connected to the rear side of the radio, and maybe getting a proper power converter would have helped, but we weren't getting the right power for this, so we had to go with the stock wire. But everything's working great right now. Here it is recording, And the wire, as you can tell, it doesn't show anywhere. So I ran it on the upper side here, and I went all the way through the back, and I hid the excess wire inside of this liner, and you can't see it except for that little piece at the very end, and it looks super clean. As you guys can tell, you can view it directly from here. You have several options. If you hit the OK button, you hit it again. Let's see. No, that's for recording. If you go into, not this setting, hold on. If you click on the arrow right here, it gives you the rear camera, and then you go into the split screen right here, and then you can choose whether you want just the front or just the rear, which is super cool. And in this case, he wants the front camera to be set on there. You have to set also the time zone. Otherwise, if you keep changing the time manually, I noticed that it goes back into the time zone that you had it on before. So when you turn off the vehicle and turn it back on, it's going to give you the incorrect date. Now, on the app, which is called WDR, I'm going to show you here what it looks like right there. On the app here is where you would connect. So you have to connect to the Wi-Fi, you have to turn it on, and then you have to connect to the camera itself. So it's going to be called, let's see here, it says something about the T100. Let's go ahead, there it is, TX100. You have to connect to this particular one, and then from here is where you guys will see that it says check the quality of your internet. That's because we're not getting internet, and then you can actually connect directly into this application. So we're gonna stay connected, and right here you guys can see that I can switch to the front and the rear camera simultaneously. There is the rear camera, and then in case I want to extract a recording, I will go here into the folder. Now keep in mind, guys, that this is why it is super important to set the correct date on these cameras, because if you do have to go back, you have to ensure that you have the correct time on here. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of challenging to know what footage was what. So as you can see right here, it is labeled F and B. F is for front, B is for back camera, and they are both recording just fine. Of course, guys, I'm going to be showing you some samples right now as the vehicle is moving. So the quality looks amazing, the colors are super accurate. Keep in mind that you can't go wrong with the StarVis 2 sensor from Sony. It is super clear, and that's exactly what you guys want. You also get a speedometer. We have a built-in GPS on the camera itself, so it does lock a signal. As a matter of fact, here from the app, you can see how it's giving us the GPS signal, and in this corner where I'm at, the GPS doesn't work great because we are in between buildings and whatnot, and we have a big tree right behind us. But as soon as you start driving normally on the road, you get all the signal, which is great. And right now it is currently locking a signal, so it tells you exactly what your coordinates are in case something was to happen, guys. So this thing is quite amazing. You can even navigate without the app. All you have to do is just hit on the OK, and that will stop recording. And then if you press here on the menu side, actually, since we are connected to the app, we can't do anything. So I'm going to kill the app, and you will notice how when you kill the app, it does allow you to go into the user interface. So we have dashcam, file explorer, and system settings. So if we go back in it and we go into system settings, I have the loop recording at its max, which is 3 minutes, the resolution 4K, and then you can go down here and then check the rest. So we have the G sensor, the microphone, the brand watermark, I have it turned off. We have the wide dynamic range, I have it turned on. The night vision without light, I have that on as well. That's quite important. And then the rest, I just pretty much kept it as it is, just so that you know, we don't change too much on it. The way it comes for the most part is okay. But yes, you had to set up the time zone correctly, and you can't do it on the app. I don't know why, but right here, I don't know if you guys can see that we have a date and time setting, but you can't do it from there. You have to do it up here on the time zone. And for Eastern time, I found that Greenwich time zone is at -4 hours. So that's the one that I found that works best, and that's the correct one here for Eastern time. And everything is working great when it comes to the timing and all that good information, guys. So now I go back into the dash cam and we are recording the front side at 4K and the rear side at 2K. This is a pretty decent dash cam, especially at this price point. It comes with the SD card. You get dual cameras, super easy to set up. With this particular vehicle, we had issues, but it doesn't mean that you will have issues. That's something totally unrelated to you, but the overall setup on this thing is quite easy. So that's it, guys, for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you think this video was helpful. Click on the bell icon so that you don't miss future videos like this, and I'll see you on my next one.